Gospel. According to the Holy Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 9, verses 14 to 17. Then the disciples of John came to Jesus, saying, "Why do we and the Pharisees fast often, but your disciples do not fast?" Jesus answered them, "Can the friends of the bridegroom mourn while the bridegroom is still with them? But the days will come when the bridegroom will be taken away from them, and then they will fast. No one puts a piece of unshrunk cloth onto an old garment, for the patch pulls away from the garment, and the tear becomes worse. Neither do people put new wine into old wineskins. Otherwise, the skins burst, the wine is spilled, and the skins are ruined. No, they put new wine into fresh wineskins, and so both are preserved." Spiritual reflection. From the Catechism of the Catholic Church, paragraphs 772, 773, and 796. The bridegroom is with them. The Church is the mystery of the union of humanity with God. It is in the Church that Christ has accomplished and revealed his own mystery as the ultimate purpose of God's plan, to bring all things together in him. St. Paul calls the spousal union between Christ and the Church a great mystery. United to Christ as to her bridegroom, the Church herself becomes a mystery, a holy reality shining with divine life. St. Paul proclaims with wonder, "Christ in you, the hope of glory." Mary goes before all of us in the holiness that is the mystery of the Church. She is the spotless bride without wrinkle or blemish. For this reason, the Church's Marian dimension precedes even her Petrine dimension, as taught by St. John Paul II. The unity between Christ and the Church, head and members, also preserves a distinction between the two, joined in a personal relationship. This reality is often expressed with the image of the bridegroom and the bride. The prophets foretold it, and St. John the Baptist announced it, saying, "The friend of the bridegroom rejoices greatly at the bridegroom's voice." Jesus himself claimed this identity, calling himself the bridegroom. St. Paul describes the Church and each faithful soul as a bride presented to Christ, so that they may become one spirit with him. The Church is the pure bride of the spotless Lamb whom Christ loves with an everlasting love. For her, he gave himself up to sanctify her, binding her to himself in an eternal covenant, and never ceasing to care for her as his own body. St. Augustine wrote, "Behold the whole Christ, head and body, one person formed from many." The Lord himself says in the Gospel, "They are no longer two, but one flesh." As you can see, there are two persons, yet they are one in the conjugal union. In today's Gospel, Jesus reminds us, while the bridegroom is with us, it is a time of joy. Yet he also prepares us for the sacrifice, the fasting, and the longing that will come when he is taken away. In the Church, we live this mystery, rejoicing in the presence of our bridegroom, longing for the day when we will celebrate the eternal wedding feast in heaven.